2 first-round picks were on the table, and the deal still died. That tells you everything. Because when the Baltimore Ravens walked away from Maxx Crosby after a failed physical, it didn't just kill a trade. It forced the Las Vegas Raiders to make a decision. And now, that decision looks final. Crosby isn't going anywhere, at least not right now. On the surface, the message from GM John Spytek sounds calm, controlled, confident. He's back, like he never left. But underneath that, there's tension, because this wasn't supposed to end like this. The Raiders didn't just listen to offers, they were close. Close enough that medicals were the final step. Close enough that the exit was real. And then one detail changed everything: the knee. That's the turning point. A meniscus repair, concerns about long-term durability, enough for Baltimore to hesitate, enough to pull back 2 first-round picks. And once that happens, the market shifts instantly. Because in the NFL, perception is value, and now every team is asking the same question: how healthy is Crosby really? That's why the Raiders' stance matters so much. They're not just keeping him. They're resetting the narrative, saying he'll be ready, saying he'll play at a high level, saying this is still their cornerstone defender, because they have to. But it also creates pressure, because now Crosby isn't just returning, he's under a microscope. Every snap, every burst off the edge, every sign of explosiveness, it all gets evaluated, and the Raiders, they're tied to it. That's the risk of this outcome, because before the failed physical, they had leverage, multiple picks, a chance to reshape the roster, a clean pivot into a new era. Now they're betting on health, betting on production, betting that Crosby can still be the same disruptive force in a division that demands it. And that's not a small bet, because the AFC West doesn't wait. Quarterbacks extend plays. Offenses stress edges. If your elite pass rusher loses even half a step, everything changes. That's why this decision feels bigger than it looks. It's not just about keeping a star. It's about losing the chance to cash in and choosing to double down instead. And there's one more layer. Crosby wanted out not long ago. That part doesn't just disappear. So now you've got a player coming off a medical scare, staying with a team that explored moving him, trying to prove he's still elite. That's volatile, that's pressure, that's potential. Because if Crosby comes back dominant, the Raiders win this moment. But if he doesn't, they won't just lose a player, they'll lose the opportunity they already had in their hands. And in this league, those don't come back twice.